Welcome to the new era of trade forecasting based on artificial intelligence.
What's going on, guys? It's Lark here from Wellington. Today we're going to be talking about the Kyber Network. They are one of the newest and more interesting players in the decentralized exchange game. We're going to be looking at what they're doing, what the competition's like, all that and more after a quick shout out to everyone who has been hitting that like button. And of course, everybody who has been subscribing to the channel. If you're not subscribed yet, button's just down there. Go ahead and hit it up. Of course, big shout out as well to everyone who's supporting me over on Patreon. If you'd like to become a patron, links down below for that. You can always follow me along at steemit.com as well. And of course, quick disclaimer, guys, this is not professional financial advice. This is just a dude talking about cryptocurrencies. Let's get into it. What is Kyber Network trying to do? What is their value proposition? Well, they would like to be a decentralized exchange. Surprise, surprise. Very, very popular, of course, at the moment. So, decentralized exchanges need to be trustless. Now, the big bonus here, you don't actually have to put your money on an exchange. I know we've talked about decentralized exchanges before and decentralized exchange protocols. It's a powerful thing. It's going to be the next big thing in cryptos, guys. Most of them aren't starting until next year. Kyber Network's not an exception to that. But it's going to be big. You will have your own wallet. You will not need to put your wallet into, or sorry, put your coins into a place like Bittrex, because when you do that, you are essentially trusting Bittrex to not close your account like they did last week to some people. 0.1% of accounts were closed. Great for the other 99.9% of people, but for that 0.1% of people, man, that really sucks. Not to mention the hacking and, you know, there's been some massive high-profile hacks that have happened, of course, because of the centralization. So that is a big thing that decentralized exchanges will be looking at. Now, Kyber's farther value proposition, they're also offering instant trading. Great. They also are offering, they don't talk about this on this page, but they do talk about in the white paper, is a payment API so that merchants can set up to receive any tokens. So if you want to pay for your new iPhone using a bunch of Kyber Network tokens, for example, or a bunch of Golem tokens, you could do that and they would receive Ethereum as a payment. So you'd be able to pay with any ERC20 token, of course, other tokens in the future, and that merchant can receive Ethereum. Most people don't mention that, but it is in their white paper. I thought that was quite an interesting and nice bit of value proposition that they're adding in there. Now, another thing that they do offer here is liquidity. Now, for new tokens in particular, this is really, really important because it's really hard for new tokens to get listed.
What's going on, everyone? My name is Nicholas Merton here at DataDash, and today is September 10th of 2017. So as you all know, if you watch my channel, you're probably aware by now that I love getting feedback in the comments below on my videos and in my live streams about what coin or token I should cover next on my channel. And it's become obviously clear that in the space of ICOs, there's been a lot of hype and questioning around a new ICO called Kyber Network, or the Kyber Network. So what exactly is the Kyber Network? What's it aiming to achieve? Why is it such a big ICO? Why is it such a big deal to the general community of cryptocurrency? And why could it really be a game changer in the sense of how we exchange cryptocurrency? Does it have the team and tech to meet their objectives? I want to answer all of these questions and much more as we go through the review. But that being realized, let's go ahead and not hesitate any longer and jump into the review. So, in 4 simple terms, we can get an understanding of what the Kyber Network is. It's trustless, it's instant, liquid, and compatible. The two that really stand out to me are trustless and instant, and I want to go into a little bit of detail. So if you can see, this talk of, instant, instant transactions, liquid, compatible, all these things, it really starts to give us an idea that this is trying to fix the issue of exchange in cryptocurrency. Right now, nowadays, we're using very centralized exchanges. We're using Bittrex, which it's by itself is a company. We use Coinbase. All these exchanges are centralized units, and it's kind of counterproductive towards what we've been talking about in cryptocurrencies. We want decentralization. And a lot of you would go out there and say, well, there's BitShares out there. BitShares, yes, is a decentralized exchange, and there are other competitors coming into the space, but quite frankly, none of them have really done what Kyber has promised. So I'm going to go through these bullet points real quick, and then we'll go a little bit more into detail. So we can see here that it says it's a trustless exchange. So trustless is what BitShares is as well. It's a trustless exchange in the sense that it's decentralized. It's not one central entity that we're putting all our trust and our money into to hold our funds, to be able to transact those funds, whatever it may be, and keep security over those funds as well. We're not putting it in one centralized unit. So Kyber Network stands out in that way. But along with that, we also can have instant transactions. This is not traditional on most exchanges. So the fact that we can have instant transactions and instant liquidity in those transactions is very key. So again, I'll get into a little more detail about what all this means, but again, Kyber Network itself, if it can deliver on its promise, will be one of the first in the entire market of cryptocurrencies to really do such a thing in the sense of exchanges. So we'll go into a little more detail and talk about it. Now, real quick, I always recommend, if you're not only going to participate in the ICO, or if you are interested in holding it in the long term, if you can't participate in the ICO right now, if you're a U.S. consumer, sadly, you can't. However, I wouldn't turn away from it. I would definitely keep your eye on it in the long term. If you are interested in it, read the white paper, folks. Always read the white paper. But again, if you want to get a general understanding and this video doesn't do a good job of it, go ahead and watch the Kyber Network video on their website. They do a really good job of visualizing it. And if you really just sit down and focus, you can get an easy understanding of what they're doing. But basically, let's go through some of these points here. It's trustless and secure. You have no trust of a centralized entity. So you're not sending your cryptocurrency to a centralized exchange and then thinking like, okay, in the next few days I'm going to probably make a trade and stuff. Hope they can keep that secure. No. Your cryptocurrency is kept secure under your own terms, and the Kyber Network is simply a transaction point between you and the reserve rather than another user, and we'll get into that a little bit more in a while, but again, there's no trust required. You are only transferring cryptocurrency so long as the Kyber Network confirms it through smart contracts, and you make the transaction and it happens instantly. So you have no worries as to security in the sense of the Kyber Network. Second is that it's very high quality. So they retain a very large reserve of tokens of all sorts. I mean, whether this is Bitcoin, whether this is Ethereum, or Ether-based ERC20 tokens, if that's the case, you can transfer that through the Kyber Network very fluidly because you're not transacting between another user. And this is where the big flaw of BitShares comes. With BitShares, you have very low liquidity in the market, and because of that, the bid and ask spread between two individuals is pretty volatile. It can literally, like, you go to BitShares, the charts look disgusting because there's not enough liquidity in the market. It's not like Bittrex where there's consistently trades going on and you can have actual stability in markets. No, with this, this is the only opportunity we have in the decentralized exchange space where we're not putting it into one centralized unit, where we can have high liquidity and make instant transactions at fair market rates. Also, seeing as we're talking about instant transactions, instant trades, we can make instant trades. It goes through the confirmation within a few seconds, and then instantly, inside your wallet or your storage, you can actually see that your Ethereum or whatever you're transacting to another currency instantly switches, and you really have to pay no fees. The only fee you're paying is the gas, which is what you have to pay if you're trading any kind of Ethereum-based tokens. So, again, not a bad deal. The fact that there's little to no fees in the network, even if they were to add a fee, I don't get why they would, but I mean, that's just such a solid deal. I mean, right now I know on Bittrex, every time I buy something, I have to pay 0.25% on it. So every trade or investment I make, I have to make more than 0.25% to cover that fee. So again, I mean, this is just, again, a really big game changer if they can really deliver on it. That's the question. Compatibility. I like this as well. So everything, there is no changes needed to integrate into the Kyber network. It's all the fact that it's all compatible from the start, meaning that it's a trustless exchange. You're not having to build yourself to be compatible with it. It's simply just making transactions through it. So it's an additional entity to just making transactions. It makes the process cheaper, simple, and decentralized. So again, very, very interesting. So you can learn some more as well about how they have derivatives programs as well. Cross-chain payments, I mean, that's the big standout, how you can really make transactions between pretty much any cryptocurrency. They've literally got anything you can think of in the sense of Bitcoin, ERC20 tokens, Ethereum itself, I mean, whatever it may be. It's just huge. So again, very, very nice looking. And also on the roadmap as well, you can see they have a very nice laid out path as to how they're planning to actually get things going. Now, to be fair, for an ICO, this has a pretty long roadmap. 2019, as much as I'm not trying to rush things, I mean, it's a little bit of a wait. But again, they have a successful ICO, and if things go well, they might be able to speed things up. But again, we have to look at things in the long term. Cross-chain trading is not really the biggest issue. It's not the biggest thing that's going to make this network huge. But simply just having a functioning product, having it so you can transact ERC20 tokens, whatever it may be, again, that's a very big step. And the first mainnet launch is supposed to be coming in Q1 of 2018. So really, honestly, if you look more long-term, not too far down the road, as well as they have a few other steps as well later on in 2018. But again, once they get here to 2019, that will be a pretty big step. And I think that, by that time, hopefully the Kyber network will see adoption. But that's the main thing you have to look for, folks, is the adoption of the platform. And let's see if, the team will get us there. We have Louis Liu, and we also have Joran Velner, yeah. And we have their LinkedIn's up right now. You can see they have a very nice team here. And we'll go ahead and look at two individuals specifically. But, outside of the fact that we're going to go look at those individuals, my boy Vitalik is on the team as an advisor. Would you look at that, folks? They've got Vitalik on the project right now. And I think he's a big supporter of this. Reason being is because you see that a main focus is transacting ERC20 tokens. There's a big issue right now with spendability and ease of transferring with ERC20 tokens. I mean, yeah, you have to pay fees and stuff like that, and make sure you get it in the right wallets and whatnot. And it's just, honestly, there's no easy platform to really do it. Kyber could be that platform, and I think Vitalik supports that. So again, it's good to see Vitalik supporting it because he seems like one of the few out there in the crypto space that's very big, and he's really not in it that much for the money. He really believes in Ethereum and cryptocurrencies as a whole. So again, very interesting. Nice to have him as an advisor. But we can go here. We can see Louis Liu on here. He is focused in computer science, and he went to the National University of Singapore. This is really nice. I've watched actually. I recommend you go watch some interviews with him. He is a very nice, humble guy. Seems like he's really interested in the project. But again, you can see that he has a little bit of history behind him. Definitely solid education. And I think that that's good. He has a focus in computer science, wanting to focus on something like this. But again, no major work experience, I will say that. But again, that doesn't mean that he's not qualified for it. But it would be nice to see that. The education side is definitely nice. And he's also got a few skills and endorsements for Java, C++, and Python. Not bad. So, next one I want to talk about is Joran. I hope I'm saying his name right, but he's a formal verification researcher, and you can see that he's posted a few articles. So he's got 350 followers, not bad. He went to the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, and he's worked for a few different companies. He's worked for EasyChip, that's the big thing I saw, and then he also worked, I guess, at the University of Tel Aviv. I'm not sure really what that is, to be honest. But the fact that he's worked at a few corporate partners for actually worked there for a few years. Wow, between his two different positions, worked over 10 years at that company. So seems pretty interesting. Seems like they have people who are skilled, educated. This isn't some hodgepodge team and everything. They actually have people working on this, and the fact that they've got Vitalik as well as two other advisors looking at the project, that's pretty interesting as well. And also what's nice is they have a list of a few frequently asked questions about the token sale, what makes it different than other decentralized exchanges. I think it's important to understand that if you really want to invest in Kyber. But again, also the MVP is out as well. That's what's really nice about it. So You can go check out the MVP and stuff with the minimal viable product. They've actually got an actual functioning version of it. And then you can also go and read the white paper. I think it's very important. I skipped to this specifically. If you really want to understand how Kyber works, remember how we were talking about how you don't transact between a user, you transact between the reserve. This is how the Kyber network works. It's very simple. It's not some colluded, crazy, network of things. They have a very simple diagram that makes it understandable, yet at the same time, it's so simple and secure, which is why the Kyber network really has a lot of good selling points. But again, you've got to really understand this if you're going to invest in it and stuff. So if you want to see what a transaction can look like and what the UI looks like for now, go watch some of the videos they have. You can go to Kyber Network's actual YouTube page and see transactions happen real time. I like the fact that they have a delivered product, or a minimal viable product in this sense, that they're actually showing proof of. It's, again, you can have the greatest concept in the world, but so long as you can't show it, I'm not that interested. But in this case, they can show it, and it is pretty interesting to see that they've at least got a test net up, working on it, and they're trying to see if it actually functions. And so far, you can sit through this video and just see how simple it is to make transactions. So, again, the thing about Kyber Network is it's getting a sense of adoption, it's getting a little bit of hype around it. They've already raised 50% of what they need in their ICO from private investors, and then of course they're raising other money through the ICO. With the fact they've gotten covered in Forbes, CoinDesk, I mean, this is pretty big stuff, folks. So, I'd love to hear what you all think about Kyber Network, though, because this is a competitive space. You're not going to have a dozen different exchanges. You're probably going to have around 2 to 3, and they're all going to have their own selling points, at least in the decentralized space. So, do you think Kyber Network really can become that leading exchange? That's the question. Can it get the adoption on its platform? It might have this great technology. It might have the great benefits tied with it, but unless it can get that adoption, it's really not going to take off. I think it's pretty interesting. And if you're curious about, as well, the Kyber token that's used for the Kyber network, it pretty much correlates, if you want to get a general understanding, as the Kyber network as it evolves and gets adopted, the Kyber token becomes worth more because you need that intrinsically to run the flow of everything through the network. So, again, I really recommend you look into it, learn a little bit more about it if you're interested, and I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments below as to whether or not you think this is a winner. If you do, please leave a comment down below. Love to hear your opinion. If you've got a coin or token I haven't covered on the channel, make sure to check before you leave a comment, but I'd love to give definitely some coverage on some content you want to see on this channel. Outside of that, everyone, though, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you all in the next video. Stay tuned.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel Jack Making Money, or if you're over on DTube, CryptoJack94. And in this video I'm going to talk to you about an amazing cryptocurrency that has just come out of its ICO and is now getting listed onto exchanges. I'm going to tell you what it is, why you should invest, and also I'm going to give you a massive price prediction at the end of the video. All the research I've done on this cryptocurrency is pointing towards this cryptocurrency is going to be massive in the future. So as always, don't forget to like this video, or if you're over on DTube, upvote the video, and as always, subscribe and hit that bell notification so you're always first to view my videos. So as you can see right now, the market cap is currently at 131 billion. So Bitcoin is slowly climbing back up to 4,000. It's currently at 3,765. Ethereum's still playing catch up with Dash. Dash is at 337. Ethereum's at 286. IOTA's still pretty cheap at 53 cents. Neo is at $22.19. So I recently made a video about Neo and about gas and what they are. So I'm going to link it up here. Amiza Go is at $9.42. So as you can see, everything is coming back up now. Everything is coming back up. So the cryptocurrency we're going to talk about today, a lot of people compare it to Amiza Go in the way Amiza Go shot up in price. So everyone says that this cryptocurrency is also going to do that. So the cryptocurrency we're talking about today is this one right here, Kyber Network. It's currently at $2.29. It just recently got put onto exchanges. So it's ranked 27 on CoinMarketCap. The market cap at the moment is 201 million. 22 million for the 24-hour volume. 88 million for the circulating supply and 226 for the total supply. You can currently buy it on Liqui, Ether Delta and TIDX. But I've also got some massive news on another exchange that is going to be listing Kyber Network really soon. So if you want to know that massive news, wait until the end of the video. So let's go over to their main website. So this is their main website, kyber.network. So what is Kyber Network? So at the moment we are using a lot of centralized exchanges like Bittrex, Coinbase and so on. So it kind of takes away the point of cryptocurrency. Because the point of cryptocurrency is that we want everything to be decentralized. So you might be saying to yourself, hasn't Kyber Network got a lot of competition already like BitShares and a lot of competition coming out? That is correct. But to me, none of these are doing what Kyber Network are doing and what Kyber Network have done. So let's talk about that. So they say they are going to be trustless. So what this means is that you are not going to have to go and put your money onto a centralized unit or exchange. You're going to be able to put it onto their decentralized exchange that Kyber Network are making. So this makes it a lot safer, a lot quicker also. So if we go down a bit, we'll talk about these next. So before we talk about these, they are also going to have instant transactions and they're going to have high liquidity, which is a rare thing to have on an exchange altogether. You don't really see that many exchanges with high liquidity and instant transactions. So let's talk about these. Trustless and secure. So basically at the moment, if you want to put your money into cryptocurrency, you need to go to a centralized exchange. You need to put your money in there, hoping that it's going to be safe and that they are going to keep it safe for you. But with Kyber Network, you are fully in control of your own crypto. They're kept safe on your own terms, which is great. The Kyber Network acts as a transaction point between you and a different user. You will only transfer crypto as long as the Kyber Network confirms it through its smart contracts. Let's go on to this one, high quality. They will retain a very high reserve of different tokens, meaning high liquidity. So in this case, you'd be able to transfer these tokens through the network very quickly, easily, and safely. This to me is where BitShare's flaw is, because BitShare does not have enough liquidity, so they cannot do what Kyber Network are doing. So Kyber Network to me is the only option we have in the decentralized exchange area that offers high liquidity, meaning you'd be able to easily and quickly make instant transactions. Speaking of instant transactions, let's talk about this one. Instant trade. We can make them and they get confirmed in a few seconds. Then instantly you'll see it in your wallet. Also, you will have to pay close to no fees. The only fees you have to pay really is your gas for like sending your Ethereum or your Bitcoin or this kind of stuff. So compatibility. Compatibility. What this means is the exchange is already going to be compatible from the start. It is a trustless exchange, meaning you don't have to make yourself compatible with it. This makes it cheaper, a lot more simple, and also makes it decentralized. So let's go down and have a look at some of the applications. So obviously they've got the exchange, the proxy payments, they're going to have this, and they're going to have this. But this to me is the big one. Cross-chain payments, which is great because you will be able to make a payment with different cryptocurrencies to different cryptocurrencies, and they're going to have a lot of cryptocurrencies on their platform. They're going to have Bitcoin, Ethereum, a load of ERC20 tokens. So to me, this one right here is a big one because it's going to be instantly, and they're going to have a lot of different cryptos that you can buy, trade, and make payments with. So let's go to their roadmap. So to me, their roadmap looks nice and simple. It's like really easy for, like, say if a new person in cryptocurrency was coming to this website, they would easily be able to read this roadmap, because some roadmaps are pretty complicated, very big, and yeah. So as you can see, they launched on August 2017. They've got a lot of things to do in 2018, but for me this is definitely a long-term hold, as you can see by how long the roadmap is. The roadmap is pretty long for an ICO because it goes all the way to 2019. So for me, when I'm going to be holding this token, I'm going to be holding it until easily 2020, because I believe that's when I will get the full value out of it. Because in 2018, that's when they're going to start making everything, and then by 2019, they'll have everything implemented and everything working. So this is going to be a long-term hold. But for me, I would rather they take their time and have a long roadmap and get everything done perfectly than have a small roadmap and get everything wrong and the platform has a load of glitches and all this kind of stuff. So let's talk about their team. Their team is very big, as you can see here. I'm not going to talk too much about their history, but you can go on their LinkedIn. So if you go on kyber.network, click on their on the team and click on their LinkedIn, it'll tell you all the history. So they have a lot of background in computer science, programming and blockchain technology, which is great. So they're a very skilled team. But one of the main reasons that everybody is hyping Kyber Network up is because of this guy right here. The founder of Ethereum is an advisor for the Kyber Network. So that's also one of the reasons that everyone is comparing this to Amisa Go and saying that it's going to have the same price lift as Amisa Go did. Because as you already know, the Ethereum founder is also an advisor on Amisa Go. So this in itself gives Kyber Network a lot of value. And also there's a rumor going around that this is going to be his last ever ICO that he is going to advise. Once again, giving it a lot of value. So let's go down here. If you go onto the kyber.network page, which I'm on right now, they also have a frequently asked questions section. So if I have not described enough for you in this video, you can come onto the website and look on here and then you can get your question answered. Also, always do your own research. So if I don't explain it fully to you, come onto this website, look at their white paper and do your own research. Because I'm not a financial advisor, always remember that. So they've been in the news quite a lot. Forbes has covered them, Blockchain News has covered them. They've also got their own blog, so they're always updating you on how the progress is going, which is great. These are their partners, so they've got quite a lot of partners, which is really good for them. And you can easily get in contact with them. So they've got Twitter, Slack, Telegram, email. You can also subscribe to their newsletter, meaning you'll always be first to know about kyber.network news. So let's go over to their YouTube page. So on their YouTube page, they've got a few videos for you, showing you how the network is going to work. Also, they show you transactions. So for me, this is really great. I really like that they already have a delivered project and they are actually showing proof of it. Some ICOs don't do this. Some ICOs don't show you the project before you actually have to invest your money. Some ICOs pay actors and all this kind of stuff. Kyber Network is not one of those ICOs. And as you can see, they were recently at a Singapore presentation on July 21st. This is great because they're getting themselves out there. So let's talk about the ICO pretty quickly. They already raised 50% of what they needed from private investors. And then the rest of it went to the ICO. So the ICO, you would have got it obviously at a cheaper price than this. I think it was at like $1, something like that, maybe a bit less. So you would have obviously got it at a very, very cheaper price. So for me, for the Kyber Network to work, it needs to get a lot more people on it, a lot more adoption, which in time it's going to do. Once it's been built, once people hear about it more, it's going to get a lot more adoption. And for me, this is how I see the Kyber Network token getting value. So what I see with the token at the moment is I see it's going to probably go to about $5 at the moment. And then slowly it's going to go back down to around $2, maybe $1. And then around the mid-December, maybe start December, it's going to start shooting up again. And then going into 2018, I reckon it'll be about $10. That is not my prediction. My prediction is coming soon. So, on to the big news I was telling you about. This exchange right here, Binance Exchange, is going to list Kyber Network on the 26th of this month. So that's tomorrow. So this is big news because Binance Exchange is getting bigger and bigger. And I believe this is going to be one of the biggest exchanges out there in the future. So this is great for Kyber Network because I believe this will shoot the value up. So my price prediction, the moment you've been waiting for. My price prediction for Kyber Network this time next year is $25. $25. So as you can see here, I've done $25 times the current circulating supply, so their market cap by that time would be 2.2 billion. So we're in September now, so September 2018, I reckon the Kyber network price is going to be $25. So I reckon that's a big prediction. What I like to do with my predictions is I like to do honest predictions. Because I see around YouTube and in my comment sections that people are like, oh, you've undervalued this, you've undervalued this. I like to do honest predictions, and I don't like to oversell. So honestly, I reckon it'll get $25 by this time next year. Thank you for watching my video. As always, don't forget to hit that like button, and as always, subscribe and hit the bell notification button so you are always first to view my videos. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel Jack Making Money, and in this video I'm going to talk to you about my top 5 cryptocurrencies for long-term hold. As always,